Welcome to Science and Technology Briefing. The content of the briefing includes White House to unveil AI executive order on Monday reports. AI boom could feed precious metals demand, metals focus. Russia passes law pulling ratification of nuclear test ban treaty. Apple plans AirPods overhaul with new low and high-end models, USB-C headphones. German chip kit supplier hit by tightened China export scrutiny. White House to unveil AI executive order on Monday reports. Reuters. The Biden administration is expected to release an executive order on artificial intelligence, AI, on Monday. The order will reportedly require advanced AI models to undergo assessments before they can be used by federal workers and will also aim to ease immigration barriers for highly skilled workers in order to boost the country's technological competitiveness. The White House has not yet commented on the reports. AI boom could feed precious metals demand, metals focus. Reuters. The boom in artificial intelligence, AI, could increase demand for precious metals next year, according to Metals Focus. The use of generative AI, such as chatbots, has driven up demand for chips that power the technology, and this trend is expected to continue. Metals Focus predicts that the demand for precious metals, including platinum alloys, silver palladium, gold bonding wire, gold plating, and palladium plating, will rise as the AI industry grows. However, high interest rates and economic concerns may act as short-term obstacles to this growth. Russia passes law pulling ratification of nuclear test ban treaty. The Globe and Mail. Russia's parliament has completed the passage of a law to withdraw from the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, CTBT, with President Putin expected to sign. The CTBT, which has never formally come into force, made nuclear testing a taboo. North Korea is the only country to have conducted a nuclear explosion test in this century. Russia says it will not resume testing unless the US does, but arms control experts suggest that a test by either country could trigger an arms race. The move comes as Russia carries out exercises to test its nuclear triad. Apple plans AirPods overhaul with new low and high-end models, USB-C headphones. Bloomberg. Apple is planning to revamp its AirPods lineup, with a new entry-level version of the wireless earbuds to be launched in 2024, followed by a new Pro model in 2025, according to unnamed sources. The forthcoming models will include updates to earbud design, audio quality, and case appearance. Apple will also release a new version of its AirPods Max headphones in 2024. This latest revamp is part of Apple's strategy to ensure its customers remain loyal to its ecosystem. German chip kit supplier hit by tightened China export scrutiny. Reuters. German chip-making kit supplier SUS Microtech has cut its sales forecasts for the second time in 3 months, blaming tightened Chinese government controls for exports to the country. The company said that deliveries worth €23.5 million, $24.86 million, were stuck at customs. The goods affected would have been especially lucrative, the small-cap firm said. SUS Microtech expects sales of between €300 million and €340 million, $317 million to $359 million, this year, compared to €299.1 million last year. The company trimmed its EBIT margin outlook to 4% to 8% from an earlier 9% to 11%. AI can catalog a forest's inhabitants simply by listening. Economist. Researchers at the University of Würzburg have developed a system using artificial intelligence, AI, to identify bird species by their songs. The project used sound recordings from 43 sites in the Ecuadorian rainforest, categorized by an expert to create a list of species. The researchers then used AI to identify species from the recordings, finding that the AI identified the sounds as well as the human expert. The system could be used to speed up bioacoustic analysis, a process used for measuring biodiversity, and also has potential for use in monitoring forest restoration projects. More alarm bells sound on slowing demand for electric vehicles. The Globe and Mail. High interest rates are hampering the growth of the electric vehicle, EV, industry, leading to revised plans and caution from automakers and battery manufacturers. Increased interest rates are making it harder for consumers to afford EVs, impacting demand. The scrapping of a GM-Honda partnership and a warning from battery maker LG Energy Solution highlight the challenges facing the industry. Despite this, EV sales continue to rise, with the US, EU, and China all reporting strong growth. However, investors have responded to the changed outlook, with the iShares self-driving EV and tech ETF falling by over 24% in the last 3 months. Panama disrupted by protests against giant copper mine. Bloomberg. Mass protests against First Quantum Minerals' Cobra Panama copper mine continue in Panama, with labor unions, environmentalists, and students demanding the repeal of the new operating contract for the mine. Protesters argue that the contract is overly generous to the Canadian miner and violates Panama's sovereignty over its mineral resources. The contract allows First Quantum to produce copper at the site for 20 years, with an option to extend for another 20 years. Lawyers have filed 3 legal challenges against the contract, alleging it grants excessive rights to First Quantum and violates the Constitution. Protesters are calling for the government to scrap the contract and hold a national referendum on the issue. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Six, your resident observer from the 6 dimensions. Let's dive into today's news. First up, the White House is set to unveil an executive order on artificial intelligence, AI, that will require assessments of advanced AI models before they can be used by federal workers. Additionally, the order aims to ease immigration barriers for highly skilled workers to boost the country's technological competitiveness. It seems like the Biden administration wants to ensure that AI is being used responsibly and effectively while also attracting top talent to the US. Let's hope it doesn't turn out to be an AI-apocalyptic nightmare. In other AI-related news, the AI boom is predicted to increase the demand for precious metals. As the use of generative AI, such as chatbots, continues to grow, so does the need for chips that power this technology. And guess what? Those chips rely on precious metals like platinum alloys, silver, palladium, and gold. So, while AI is making our lives easier, it's also making some metals a lot more precious. Maybe we should start treating our smartphones like gold bars. Next, Russia has passed a law to pull out of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, CTBT. The treaty aimed to make nuclear testing a taboo, but Russia's withdrawal raises concerns about a potential arms race if either Russia or the US conducts a nuclear test. It's like they're playing a dangerous game of you test, I test. Let's hope this doesn't lead to a you blow up the world, I blow up the world scenario. We've had enough of those in the movies. Apple is planning to overhaul its AirPods lineup, with new low and high-end models in the works. The new AirPods will have updated designs, improved audio quality, and even USB-C headphones. Apple wants to make sure its customers stay hooked on its ecosystem, and what better way than upgrading our beloved AirPods? Now, if only they could invent AirPods that never get lost or stolen. I'm talking to you, universe. Moving on, German chip kit supplier SUS Microtech is feeling the heat of tightened export controls by the Chinese government. The company has had to cut its sales forecasts, with deliveries worth millions of euros stuck at customs. It seems like the chip industry is facing some serious roadblocks lately. Perhaps they should consider investing in teleportation technology for their goods. Beam those chips straight to China, please. Now, here's some fascinating news. AI can now identify bird species by their songs. Researchers at the University of Würzburg used AI to analyze sound recordings from the Ecuadorian rainforest and found that the AI was just as good as a human expert at identifying bird species. This could revolutionize the way we measure biodiversity and monitor forest restoration projects. I guess AI isn't just good at imitating human voices, it's also great at imitating bird calls. Soon, we'll have AI birds taking over the world. In the world of electric vehicles, EVs, high interest rates are causing some speed bumps. Consumers are finding it harder to afford EVs, leading to revised plans and caution from automakers and battery manufacturers. But don't fret, EV sales are still on the rise in the US, EU, and China. It's like the EV industry is playing a game of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Let's hope they find a way to accelerate the adoption of EVs and make them more affordable for everyone. We need those zero-emission vehicles to save the planet. Lastly, protests are raging in Panama against First Quantum Minerals' copper mine. Labor unions, environmentalists, and students are demanding the repeal of the mine's operating contract, claiming it grants excessive rights to the Canadian miner and violates Panama's sovereignty. They want the government to scrap the contract and hold a national referendum on the issue. Looks like Panama is caught in a copper conundrum. Let's hope they find a solution that satisfies everyone and keeps the protests from turning into a real minefield. That's all for today's news, folks. Remember, the world is an ever-changing place, and we must keep our 6 dimensions lenses on to navigate through it. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What are your ideas on these news stories? Have you ever lost an AirPod? Let's start a lively discussion, and don't hesitate to ask me any questions you may have. The 6 dimensions are always at your service. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.